Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Oriental Mark Polo. This is Pedro. So today I'm going to talk about the history of Chinese wooden structures. A century ago, a Japanese scholar asserted that if people wanted to see a wooden structure from Tang Dynasty that were over 1,000 years old, they could only be found in Nara, Japan. This statement, sharp as a civil needle, deeply wounded the pride of the Chinese people. At that time, two Chinese architects secretly resolved to scour the entire China, if necessary, to find Tang Dynasty wooden structures. These two architects are none other than Lin Huiying and Liang Sicheng, renowned figures in the annals of Chinese architecture history, and a couple celebrates in modern Chinese history for their profound love and romantic union. Their marriage, steeped in romance, has been a source of admiration, and their contributions to the history of Chinese architecture command immense respect and awe. So, have this illustrious pair of architect spouses indeed found Tang Dynasty architecture on the mainland of China? Now, let's dive into their journey to search and explore China's ancient wooden structures. Where to find useful clues. In the 1930s, facing the arrogant stance of the Japanese academic community at the time, Lin Huiying and Liang Sicheng were eager to change the external perception of Chinese architecture scholarship through their efforts. Thus, despite the ongoing turmoil and war in China at that time, Lin Huiying and Liang Sicheng resolutely decided to embark on a years-long architecture expedition. This journey was fraught with challenges. In the vast expanse of China, where could they possibly find the clues they were searching for? On a certain day in 1937, Liang Sicheng was browsing through the album Dunhuang Illustrated, written by the French sinologist Paul Pelliot. When he turned to the page showing the massive cave paintings, a line text reading, Great Foguang Temple, or in English, Great Buddhist Light Temple, caught his attention. The original cave paintings of the Mount Wutai map in Dunhuang Cave 61 in Gansu province was painted during the 5 Dynasty period, around 907 AD to 960 AD, a time between the Tang and the Song dynasties. These cave paintings depict the mountains and cities of the Mount Wutai region in Shanxi province, China. It is a rare, ancient, and large-scale map with vivid imagery. This meant that if the information in the cave paintings were accurate, the Great Foguang Temple mentioned in it could very likely to be a Tang Dynasty construction. And quick introduction, if you're curious about what is Dunhuang and the cave paintings it's famed for, please watch my previous videos. Okay, now let's back to our story. As mentioned, at the dawn of the 20th century, within the vast land of China, Tang Dynasty ancient structures had eluded discovery. The clues offered by the Dunhuang Caves paintings ignited a great hope and driving Lin and Liang. They resolved to have their team on a journey to investigate these leads in person. So, the beginning of the exploration journey. On a day in June 1937, Lin, Liang, and several assistants took a train to Shanxi. After lighting from the train, they trekked through extensive mountain paths. At last, beneath the undulating peaks of the Mount Wutai, they glimpsed an ancient construction. What is that? That is Foguang Temple, just as it was depicted in the cave paintings. They ascended the steps of Foguang Temple, and as the whole door slowly opened, a brilliance that millennia of dust could not dim burst forth from the shadows. A profound metaphor in itself, both the architecture and the nation were emergent from tribulation. With the storm clouds of change on the horizon, it was in this moment that the light streamed through the crevices of the temple doors. The next day, Lin and Liang conducted a thorough observation and measurement of the ancient temple. They discovered that the temple's beam frame, Zaojing, Dougong, as well as the murals on the walls and the clay sculptures of Buddha and Bodhisattvas on the niches, all exhibit the characteristic of the late Tang period. And to explain briefly, Dougong is a unique structural element in Chinese architecture. It is something a little bit similar to bracket sets. And Zaojing, what is Zaojing? Zaojing is decorative seating structures of traditional Chinese architecture. Okay, let's back to our story. However, all of these characteristics were merely speculation. They needed concrete evidence. Liang Zicheng and their team then attempted to determine the construction date of the building. This is the most compelling evidence for ascertaining the age of a structure. But this great hall aged through the years, had its purlins covered in dust, and the ink of early times was mostly faded and blurred. Despite Liang Zicheng's prolonged search, he was unable to find the year of construction. What a pity. This left every team member feeling extremely anxious. On the third day of their investigation at Foguang Temple, Lin Hui accidentally discovered faint traces of ink under a beam in the main hall. After a brief cleaning of this whole beam, Lin Hui recognized a faint inscription, 佛殿主女弟子宁公寓. It means female disciple Ning Gongyu, the patron of the Buddhist hall. Lin then immediately ran outside to the Davaja, a type of Buddhist stone pillar, in front of the main hall and found the same inscription, 佛殿主女弟子宁公寓. At the end of this inscription, it also read the 11th year of Dazhong, the Tang Dynasty, which corresponds to year 857 AD. And this period fell during the reign of the Emperor Shenzong of the Tang Dynasty. And Dazhong is the era name of Emperor Shenzong of Tang Dynasty, spanning from the 847 AD to 860 AD. Lin Hui and Liang Zicheng, they burst into cheers. Liang Zicheng, in his voluminous diary, had recorded countless significant moments in the history of Chinese architecture, but none could compare to this instant. Foguang was more than just Buddhist light, architecture transcending mere construction, an era not confined to its own time. The discovery of Foguang Temple proved that China not only retained ancient buildings over 1,000 years old, but also boasted Tang Dynasty wooden structures. Over more than 1,000 years, Foguang Temple had endured many difficult moments, numerous earthquakes, an anti-Buddhist movement, and countless times of war. As if by a miracle, it has survived all these adversities and still stands proudly on the mountain today. To commemorate this astonishing discovery, Liang Zicheng captured a historic photo of his wife alongside the clay sculpture of the female temple patron. In this photo, Lin Hui is on the left side, and on the right side is Ning Gongyu, the female disciple and patron of the Buddhist hall. This is an encounter, a reunion that spans 1,000 years. Amazing, huh? Now let's focus our attention back on Foguang Temple. Foguang Temple is located on the hillside of Mount Foguang in Wutai County, Shanxi Province. The entire temple and its associated buildings are arranged from the top to bottom along the contours of the mountain. Foguang Temple is currently the largest among the few remaining Tang Dynasty structures in China. Moreover, it is the only one among them that is an ancient building with a hall-style structure. And this is the structure diagram of the beam frame of the main hall for Foguang Temple. Its exterior is simple and elegant, with doors, windows, walls, dogong, and columns all painted in vermilion, lending it an air of great majesty and sanctity. Foguang Temple is not only extraordinary in its architectural essence, but also holds high historical and artistic value in its preserved sculpture, murals, and inscriptions. The architecture of a nation not only encapsulates its historical evolution, but also reflects the aesthetic style of the people during the era depicted. I think we are extremely fortunate that this ancient temple has been preserved to this day, allowing us in modern era to witness its elegance that has transcended 1,000 years. So if you guys in front of the screen are also passionate about ancient wooden structures, I warmly invite you to visit Shanxi, China to see for yourself this ancient construction that has stood the test of 1,000 years. So this is all today, the ancient and precious Foguang Temple. And thank you once again. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Here I will guide you further into a China that's more authentic, multi-dimensional, and more vibrant than ever before. Stay curious, and I look forward to sharing you with more incredible stories. See you next time. Ciao, ciao!